we have done the work and we have proved my problem statements are true, and still your statement has been rejected from the organizations or from the any others. It's become error. Everything is right, still you are rejecting me, and that is called the error, and this error is called a alpha. Understand? This error is called a alpha. Means whatever the sampling technique you have, as per your sampling techniques, you have done the collection of data and your null hypothesis is still true, but it has been rejected. So this is what we call the error, or sometime alpha. This is type 1 error. Is it okay? Similar way, alternate hypothesis is there. Null hypothesis become rejected, false. Null hypothesis become false. That means what? We have an alternate hypothesis, and if you have an alternate hypothesis and if it is become false, it has become false. लेकिन ये कैसा था? True होना चाहिए था. That means what? Alternate hypothesis is become true, it has to be accepted. If null hypothesis become false and alternate hypothesis become true, so alternate hypothesis has to be accepted, but it is not accepted. That means what is become once again error. Once again is become the error. गलत हो गया ना फिर से? Alternate hypothesis we have proved. Yes, we have the alternate hypothesis. So it has to be accepted, but it's not going to be accepted. Alright. So that means what? It's become the error. And this error we call a beta, or sometimes called a type 2 error. Alright. So what is type 2 error? The type 2 error where the alternative hypothesis is true, but it has not been accepted. Accepted होना चाहिए ना, but it's not be accepted. It is called what? The type 2 error. But alternate hypothesis there, null hypothesis become false, है ना? And null hypothesis become false, and alternate hypothesis also become false. So it has to be rejected. Yes or no? So this is what? Rejected. मतलब in case only when it is false. If alternate hypothesis become false, obviously it has to be rejected. So अगर rejected है तो that is right. अब इसको और अच्छे समझ लेते हैं. Null hypothesis. If null hypothesis become true, if it is true, it has to be accepted. Yes, it has to be accepted. Accepted मतलब मैं इसको यहाँ पे लिख सकता हूँ क्या? Accepted. True हो गया तो क्या हो जाएगा ये? Accepted. या जो भी लिखना है आपको. And null hypothesis is true, but it has been rejected. What is the error? The error coming at type 1. Similar things, alternate hypothesis is true, but rejected. Reasons? Beta error. Alternate hypothesis is false. Obviously, it has been rejected. Understand? So, the scene is when the null hypothesis become true, what kind of error comes? Alpha. Means if the null hypothesis is true, still is rejected, error number 1 or alpha. Similar way, alternate hypothesis is true, but still it is rejected, then it's what? Beta. Again? Okay. So these are the two different kinds of error we do have. Alright? Example में लेने वाला post lunch. We are going to do some exercise. ले सकता हूँ मैं example, simple examples ले सकता हूँ. Random samplings हो रही हैं. Suppose, right? From this random samplings, you wanted to have a judgment, simple judgment. Like, मैं एक general example की बात करूँ. Suppose you have a data of the cricket teams A and B, Pakistan and India, right? Which team is more consistent? कैसे find out करोगे? So what are you going to do? You are going to put the things. Okay, sir, I am going to see the bowling side and batting side. है ना? In the Pakistan team, you are going to see the bowling side and batting sides. In the this side, India teams, again you are going to see the bowling side and batting sides. But you see, by seeing the data, you could not differentiate which team is better team. So what you need to do? You need to just take the random selection. You pick one guys from the India side. Suppose करो Virat Kohli. You pick one guys from the India side. You pick the one side from the Pakistan side, and do the comparisons. A comparison, if match, then no answers. है ना? If in the comparison, if the Virat Kohli is higher side, then India is best. If the Pakistan side is that player is best, obviously the Pakistan is best, because we do the comparison like this, 1 to 1. right? So this is can be done by the sampling, and the random selection we have done. We have taken the Virat Kohli randomly. So this is what we call the sampling techniques. Understand? So sampling techniques, the most important thing is your clustered samplings, stratified samplings, and this random samplings. This is as basic. When you're going to learn the books or read the books, a lot of things you see. So most important, first thing, whenever you're going to start a research work, the first important aspect comes into the mind. Who is my target audience, which is I call a population, and what is my sample size? You heard this word many times, sample size, even though in books also, even in your numericals also, sample size. The sample size means how many person you're going to visit, right? Sometimes you see the sample size is 50. That means what? You're going to communicate with the 50 guys, or you wanted to take the data from the 15 different places, different subjects. Alright? How many have done the physics exercise? कभी तो किया होगा life में. Sometime when you go for a lab, you don't know how many reading we need to have. Yes or no? You are taking first reading, you are taking second reading, you are taking third reading, fourth reading. How many reading you need to have to judge the particular experiment is successful or failure? So we need to have certain things into mind. Okay, if I take the 10 readings, then I could judge whether I achieve my objective or not. Similar things happening with your research also. So first thing, before applying any other technique, you need to have the sample size. Understand? So you need to have a decide sample size. Just again, I'll take the example of her, women's. But how many women she wanted to meet? It's a big question. Yes? If you go to meet the women's in how many are working women's in night or maybe in shift wise, how many women you want to meet? So that you satisfy, okay, now I'm satisfied, I can conclude. 1, 2, 3, 4, thousands, 10,000, lakhs, crores, how many? These are the questions. How many? So the answer of this question is nothing but your sample size. So initially, when you start the collection of data, you need to decide the sample size. Understand? It can be a 30, it can be a 40, it can be a 50. It can be any other things which you feel, whatever problem estimate you have, you can prove that. Alright, that's what the reasons ki sometime after taking the data of 500 guys or 500 students, or maybe any other 500 people, you are not in a position to judge something. So again you need to have more data. So again you go to the field, again you asking the person, again you collecting the data because you wanted to have a certain kind of exercise. Alright, you understand now sampling? Alright, the different aspect of the statistical tools, basically which is used for the analysis of data, right? So normally what we have a different techniques to just understand our particular methodology, like testing, hypothesis testing. Suppose you want to do a testing. So first of all, you need to understand what kind of test will be applicable as per the research. Suppose you have collected a lot of data, but sometimes we don't understand what kind of test is going to be applied. For example, like you have assignments. You just see your assignment question number first, you can't able to understand this particular problem belongs to which particular method. You are saying, oh, something is there, sir, but we won't able to understand it. Whether this particular formula will be applicable on this, whether this particular technique will be applicable on this, and many more things. And that is based on a survey, right? So we definitely come on that point, hypothesis testing. So now what we are going to learn, the first thing, just basic. This is called a true strength. Time bilkul pakke. Alright, so for this basic, what we going to understand, because when you going to apply the techniques, right, you must know that these are all the concept. The first concept which is we called the central tendency of measurement. The first topic which is central tendency of measurement, which is comes and in which we comes the mean, median, and third thing is mode. Alright, these are the basic terms. I think many of guys have studied at 9, 10 standards. So basically what we have a two kind of data. So I just wanted to ask you one important aspect. It is just normal questions. Everybody know what is data, because since morning I am talking about the data, right? So can anybody tell me what is data? Lo bhai. Information. Alright, these are the same words or different words? So what is data? Unprocessed, raw data, right? And when it becomes the processed, after the processing, it comes as a form of information, right? So whenever we talked about the data means we don't have any meaningful things, and stats we always take data, alright, then we put some formula and then we'll conclude some things. So there's a two kind of data. The first is group data and the second is ungrouped data, right? So I think you have already studied in your school level. The first is group data and the second is ungrouped data. एक 2 मिनट में देख लेंगे इसको. Group data and ungrouped data. Like mean, median, modes can be applicable for any other data. Let's understand what is the group data and what is the ungrouped data. First I'll take the ungrouped data. So for the ungrouped data we are going to have a mean. Ungrouped data. Data means which can be randomly given. Any other things. Like for example, I could have a like age. Suppose there is a 10 guys and 10 having the age, obviously yes, you know. So suppose 3, 5, 10, 15, 20, 25. कितना हो गया? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 10. Alright, these are the data is given. There is no group. We are not talking about the groups. Ki 0 to 10, 10 to something like interval which is we got. So ungrouped data, which is a directly random data, is given to you. Now you need to calculate the mean for this. How are you going to calculate the mean for this? It's quite simple. Just do the summation of all. And divide by total number of observations or total number of the total numbers. So can we say x bar is my mean? Simple. X bar is my mean. I am taking the value, x is a random variable, right? So x bar is my mean and x bar can be denoted by the summation of x. This is my x. This all data is nothing but my x. And what we are going to do? We are going to do the summation of it. Summation means we are wanting to do the plus. So all data is going to be plus, divide by total numbers. Total numbers can be a n, right? So for ungrouped data, what is the formula for the mean? For the ungrouped data, the mean formula is x bar equals to summation of x divided by n, right? No need to do calculation, you can do it. Simple, you need to do additions and divide by total numbers. Okay? So this is the first formula which we have for the mean. So normally or mostly we are using this particular formula to calculating the data, mean. Now group data. In the group data, what we are going to do? This particular is going to be divided in some number of classes. Class interval. I think आपने देखा भी होगा पहले भी. So we are going to have a class interval, right? Suppose we take the example like 0 to 10, 10 to 20, 20 to 30, 30 to 40 and so on, right? These are the class. Please remember group data, or if you want to process the group data, it has to be an equal class interval. If the intervals are not equal, you need to make the interval as a equal, right? Maybe you can add something, maybe you can minus something to make it out the equal intervals. Understand? So we are not going to talk on those points. Now this is class intervals. Yes, whenever you talked about a class interval, it's always having respective frequency, which is sometimes we also call the f. Alright. Now frequency means, suppose this is an example, frequency is number of students. Alright, suppose this is I am saying number of students. Count aega, that is count. Number of students, can I say the frequency? Yes. So suppose there is the first group which is having the 0 to 10. So how many students belongs to this particular category? So let's suppose take any example like 5, 6, 7 and 8. These are the number of students belongs to so and so groups, right? It's a dummy example, it's not a live example. So what is this? This is frequency. And when the frequency is giving, you need to be calculated the particular mean. So the formula is for calculating the mean, what I need to do here, we don't have any x. So first of all, what we need to do, we need to find out the midpoint, because the s is missing here. So in such case, you need to have a midpoint, which is I am going to call a x, right? Because x is missing. So here what we need to do, we need to find out the x first. So midpoint means the midpoint of this interval. So what we need to do, two numbers are there, range है, lower limit plus upper limit, divide by 2, average. So 10 plus, sorry, 0 plus 10 divided by 2, that is 5. So automatically the midpoint of first interval is comes 5. Okay, if the equal interval we have, directly you can do the addition. Like let's 10 plus 2, 20, 30, 30 divided by 15, 30 divided by 2, that is equals to 15. See, what is the difference between the intervals? 0 to 10, 10, 10 to 20, 20. So automatically it's going to be increased by the 10. Right? That is the logic. Now we need to calculate the x bar. So x bar can be calculated by using x bar equals to summation of f of x divided by summation of f. This is a particular formula we have to use to calculating the mean of group data. Group data, not ungroup data, group data, because we have a groupings. Alright, class intervals we have. So what is this f? F is nothing but a frequency. Yes. What is this x? X is nothing but a midpoints. Clear? Now see this formula. What is happening the first one? This one is summation of f into x. That means first you need to take the f and then you need to have a x, do the multiplications and then do the summation of that f into x. Means can I add one column here, which is I am calling the f into x. Means x and f is going to be multiplied. Alright. And finally whatever comes, that will be summation of f of x. Everybody have mobile na? बता दो फटाफट भाई. 5 and 5, this is my f, f into x, 5 and 5, 25. So directly it's come 25. Then 15 to 6, 90. Then next, 25 into 7, 175 na? And 35 into 8, 2. ये इंजीनियर है पक्का. हाँ तो दैट इज टोटल इज कमिंग 5. बहुत नीचे हो गया ना ये 570. फाइन. सो व्हाट वी नीड टू डू, वी गॉट अ समेशन ऑफ f of x, f into x. Now divide by, denominator is summation f. Here we have as f, this is f, and sum means the do the total of this f. So which is nothing but your summation of f. क्या आएगा 26. So if you putting in this would be 570 divided by 26. Approximately what? 21.9. This is my x bar for the group data. Understand? Oh yeah? So what is the formula for this? The formula for this, x bar, if the frequency is given and the class interval is given, the formula is become for the calculation of mean is x bar equals to summation of f into x divided by summation f. Alright, there are many more methods comes, but we are not going to discuss it. वो हमें काम का कुछ भी नहीं फिलहाल. So this is clear. Let's move for the median. ये बोर्ड बड़ा गलत बना, बीच में बहुत कम जगह थोड़ी. मेरे ख्याल से बोर्ड पे कोई लिखते नहीं होगा मेडिकल वाले, तो वहीं दिखाते होंगे इधर और इधर. जरूरत ही नहीं, इंसान को फाड़ देते हैं सट से. ये लो. Alright, median. So median again we are going to calculate for the two types. The one is group data and another one is again ungrouped data. Right? So for the group data, for the ungrouped data, the median can be calculated depends on the two things. Suppose we will have an example of it first. Tell me any numbers. 1, 3, 5, 2, 6, है ना, 6, 6, नहीं, यहाँ 8 लेता हूँ, यहाँ 6 लेता हूँ, बस बहुत हो गया ना. चलो ठीक है. How many numbers? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 6 numbers. एक और बढ़ा दो यार. नहीं, 7. Alright. 7. Total numbers are 7. Now the median for the ungrouped data depends on the two things. The first thing, total numbers. Total numbers. Whether the total numbers are even or odd. If the total number are evens, then the calculation is like in between two numbers will be conflict as a median. First of all, we understand what is median. Median means the mid value. Median is nothing but like mid value. Whatever total number is given, you need to find out the mid values, right? Center place. So this is the data is given. How many total numbers? Total number is 7. So first of all, what we need to do here, we need to make these numbers into ascending or descending order, right? Any one order you need to be have it. So make it 1, 2, 3, 8 nahi hai, 5, 6, 7, 8. इसे 7 लिया था. All right. Then it's become ascending or descending order. Now after that the total number is 7. 7 is the total number. Total numbers, which is I could say the n. This is 7 odd numbers. So odd numbers, what is the formula for this? This is n plus 1 divided by 2 term. Please remember, this is this divided by this term, and the median is whatever number we have in this particular term. Term means the position I am talking about. Alright. Sometimes students do the mistake. यहीं छोड़ देते हैं वो. So this is n plus 1 divided by 2. My total number is 7. So n is 7. So put up on this 7 plus 1 divided by 2. So that is what? 8 divided by 2. 4. Yes or no? So that means what? Fourth term. What number we have on the fourth term? 5. So what is the median for this particular given data? For this particular given data, the median is 5. Understand? So this is all about your medians. Let's move for the next one. एक नंबर ऐड कर देते हैं उसमें. आया ना समझ में? Alright, so can I add one more number here? Suppose 9. Yes? So total number has become what? 8. In such case, if you see like total number are 8. So 1, 2, 3. Fourth term can be as a median. Fifth term can be as a median. Yes or no? So what we need to do, we need to find out the exact what is the value of median. So what we need to do, we need to use these particular methods. So n by 2 plus 1, alright, n plus n by 2 plus 1, and this is basically a formula. N by 2 term, this is term, n by 2 termed and n by 2 plus 1 termed. So in this example, how many n we have? We have 2, 8. So this is 8 by 2, that means what? Term, and 8 by 2 plus 1 term. This is become 4th term and this is become 5th. Now what we need to do, we need to take the average of 4th and 5th term. What we need to do after this, we need to have an average of 4th and 5th term. So what is the 4th term? That is 5 and that is 6. So the median is what? The median is equals to 5 plus 6 divided by 2. That is 11 by 2. That is 5.5. This is exact median for the odd even numbers. Understand? So please remember one thing, whenever we are talking about the medians for the even numbers, it's always with the average of the center places. Right? आ गया ना? दो मिनट रुकते क्या उसको? Yes, but nothing. Paper में नहीं आता ये सब. Nothing. You understand now, but that's better for us. It is just a terminology we use to just realize how to calculate. I say na, you have to, whenever you have the even numbers, total numbers are evens. directly take the center values, two different center value and take the average of this. That will be your median for that. But that is not comes in papers. It's just for understanding only. All right. I think that is there in unit number 9. Unit number 9. Yes, unit number 9 में दिया वो median. Alright, then we going for the median for the group data. Group data means where you getting the class intervals and the frequency, right? So first of all, we are going to have a formula for it. So median, this is MD, alright? This is MD equals to L plus, alright, मिला किसी को? N by 2 minus CF divide by small f into h. So this is basically a formula for the medians, where just write down where it is for the group data. Yes, the previous one for the ungrouped data. This is I think given in your book also, same formula. See, different books using a different notations, right? So you try to be understand the meaning of the notations. So just write down where L is small l is where small l is lower limit of median class.